What's up, guys? Welcome back to Dolly Vision for another shocking video. But first, of course, I'm going to need you to leave your DNA on that like button. Just in case you go missing, I will track you down. Also, make sure you sub up the channel and ring the bell. Help us hit 68,000 subscribers. I can't do it without the help of each and every one of you. Now, let's get into the video. Just when you think things couldn't get worse, they do. It has been a month and a week that Jack and Lily have gone missing. In the first month of the case, we were getting regular updates from the RCMP. But this last week alone, nothing. No news press conferences, no updates on their website. Nothing. Where is Jack and Lily Sullivan? That is what we're going to be talking about here today. But I just want to give my warnings. Dolly Vision's for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculation, theories, mixed with a little bit of comedy and a whole lot of chaos. So don't take nothing here as fact, people. It is just my opinion. Everyone is innocent to proven guilty in a court of law. And just remember this. Never try to be Dolly at home. Miles and miles of woods have been searched around the home of Jack and Lily, all through the woods, 8.5 kilometers to be exact, and no signs of Jack and Lily. Now, there was a boot print that was found by a pipeline. Now, searchers since then came back and did a third search of the area around the pipeline. And since then, there has been really no new updates. Just a few days ago, they did hold a vigil for Jack and Lily. And a lot of people believe when you hold these vigils, you're giving up hope. And it's a way of saying these children are no longer with us. Let's pay our respects. While others in Nova Scotia are holding hope that these children are still out there somewhere alive. Now, the police said, they've searched miles and miles of these woods, and they do not believe the children are in the woods. And if they are, most likely they are no longer with us, and this is a recovery mission. Now, the police have also said they do not believe there's any signs of abduction. Now, if these kids are not in the woods and they're not been abducted, what could have happened to these kids? One of the last updates we got from the RCMP was that the kids were seen alive the day before they were reported missing with family members. Now, they didn't go into a lot of detail, but they were asking for footage of people's dashboard cameras and video camera footage, ring doorbell cameras from Gearlock Road. Now, is that a clue that the police have given us they're trying to search the whereabouts of these kids, or did these kids ever make it back home? Just when you think it can't get any worse, it gets worse. No update in the past week, no new leads, nothing. We do know that they have investigated over 500 leads. They've interviewed over 50 people, and they say they're going to continue to interview people. But is this case slowly going cold? And everybody's question's been the same. Where is the mother of these children? Now, we deal with a lot of missing people here on Dolly Vision. We deal with a lot of families of missing people here on Dolly Vision. And we have not seen nothing like this. The only thing close we've seen to a situation like this is Katie Proudfoot, when she her kid went missing and she just took off, didn't say anything, just kind of Joe dirted her child. Now, this seems to be the case on Malaya. Right off the bat, Malaya gives one interview, very little emotion in that interview. Some people said she didn't even shed a tear. and talked about her kids in a way that seemed very scripted with what Daniel had already previously said, that the kids would talk to anybody, they would get in the car with anybody and leave. Now, a lot of people are speculating that they were trying to build an alibi right off the bat, saying these kids were abducted to protect themselves, right? And since then, we've had a lot of inconsistent statements come out from the stepfather, Daniel. Not so much Malaya, because Malaya hasn't been speaking. She basically grabbed her kid Meadow and she took off. Now, there's some text messages that are coming out, and a lot of people are saying they're fake. A lot of people believe that they are real. It came out on a YouTube channel, a Canadian-based YouTube channel, A Crime and Shame. And these text messages said, basically that once Malaya's mother got around, that Malaya changed. The kid was supposed to go with Daniel's cousin, while all this chaos was going on, while they were looking for Jack and Lily. But then once Malaya's mother got there, that Malaya changed everything, and the way she even looked at Daniel changed. She seemed angry with him, took Meadow, left to her mother's house, and then instantly, which was really bizarre, she started to switch her Facebook to single, ready to mingle people. A lot of people were kind of thrown off about this, about a woman who has a missing child, and she's more worried about her relationship status on Facebook than the search for her children. Now, since this has happened a month and a week ago, not one time has Malaya came out and took part in any of these searches for her child. The police, RCMP, do say they are giving Malaya regular updates, but she has also, according to her family, lawyered up and is refusing to speak to media, saying that if the media has any questions, they can contact her lawyer. This has blown a lot of people away. We've heard Daniel come out and say, don't attack Malaya. It's not good for her mental health, and this could reflect onto their daughter. But it's hard for the internet and the armchair detectives and the sleuths out here not to say nothing about behavior that is absolutely out of the norm. Most mothers would be out screaming from the rooftops for the safe return of their child, and we do not see Malaya doing this. Now, in those text messages that we spoke about earlier, there was some talk of the timeline, the 10 a.m. timeline not being true. Now, here's the thing we say a lot over here on Dolly Vision. The truth never changes. The only time a story changes is when you're telling a lie. And we know if you tell one little lie, you got to tell 1,000 more to cover for that one little lie. And why would you be lying in the disappearance of some children unless you had something to hide? And we have done many a polls here on Dolly Vision, asking the viewers what do they think have happened to Jack and Lily. And I would say a good 98% of the people here on this channel believe that the parents are responsible for the disappearance of these children, and they are covering for each other. And the first interview was scripted. They discussed what they were going to say to the media. Now, why they have split ways, I do not know. That still makes me think that, hey, maybe the kids are in the woods. And, I try to continue to hold hope that maybe if somebody did kidnap these kids, that they would be returned, hopefully safely, and they're alive out there somewhere. Because any other way, it's pretty doom and gloom, because if the kids ain't in the woods and the kids ain't been abducted, then maybe they are safe out there somewhere. But when we see the behavior of the mother and the stepfather, it is bizarre. And a lot of people say, well, Dolly, behavior is not a clue. It may not be a clue, but what it is a huge red flag. And there's been plenty of these huge red flags since this case began. And we just got to pray that the RCMP are seeing the same red flags that we're seeing, that they will not give up on this child. The media in Canada not covering it as much as they was when it first happened. Here in the United States, absolutely no media coverage for Jack and Lily. Now let me tell you this, if this happened in the United States, this would be a huge case. It would be all over the news. We go crazy here for one kid missing, most likely two, and to see Canadian media just kind of sweeping this under the rug like it's not the most important thing happening in their country, is just a shame. Now let's hold hope that Jack and Lily are out there. Now we have no proof that the parents did anything to their children. This is just all speculation. And hopefully something will come up. But you guys let me know what you think in the comment box down below. Is Jack and Lily out there? Did somebody kidnap these kids? Or did they fall foul play to their parents? And we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.